you know what to expect. For those of you who are new to Musica Vera Consort, you're in for it. We play early music, which is before Bach, mostly, on the instruments that the early music was played on. There are cool and unusual instruments up here that you'll hear and see during the concert. We also, in this concert, include some of the more modern and familiar seasonal music so that you can hear familiar music on unfamiliar instruments. The first piece we played was a set of 4 gavottes from a collection called Terpsichore. Terpsichore was the goddess of the dance in ancient times. And it's a collection of over 316 different dances, many of which had sub-dances throughout. It shows that dance was very, very popular in early times. There's a tremendous number of dances for all levels of society. So the 4 gavottes were an example of the dance repertory, which is ubiquitous in all levels of society. There's a marvelous picture of Elizabeth I doing a dance called the Volta, where she's about 18 inches in the air, where she's either jumped or been thrown by her partner. The Volta, a vaulting dance. And these dances, ancient dances, hung on for a long time. When you get into the Baroque, Bach used the names of the dances for his non-dance music. So the dance was very important and influential. The next piece we're going to play is another example of old music that hung around for a long time. It began in the 13th or 14th century as plain song, a song that was very popular, that in the Renaissance was turned into not a solo piece, but a 4-part piece, and hung on quite long. As a matter of fact, Bach used it as a choral prelude. So in Dolce Jubilo hung around so long that it is now a familiar Christmas song called, who knows? Good Christian men rejoice. So in Dolce Jubilo. worship of the lights. You probably know the miracle of the lights when, after the Maccabees retook the temple, they wanted to light the ceremonial lights, and they only had oil for one night of burning, and it went for 7 nights. So this was the miracle of the lights that is reflected in many of the Hanukkah songs, and even in a simple little game with a dreidel, which is really a metaphor for the miracle of the lights. Musica Vera Consort. I stand up and wave my hands, and they sometimes follow me. But we all take suggestions from one another. Jolene made me make the next arrangement. It's a lovely song, and it's in the Unitarian hymn, is it not? And would you read what I gave you about it?
Was an early 20th century composer. She was noted for writing children's rhymes and games, but this carol was taken from an ancient French tune, and she put the words to it. The text is 5 stanzas long, 4 of which prepare you for the 5th, which announces the coming of the Lord. Oh, and the carol was first published in the Oxford Book of Carols in 1928.
Thank you.
of years. It's a musical story, and I have a narrator for it, who will take over when we write it.
I promise I'll try to speak into the microphone. There you go, see? That's what I needed. I promise I'll try to speak into the microphone. The next piece in our program is called Dites le Bourguignon, which roughly translates into What the Burgundians Said. Today we're going to imagine that he was telling a Christmas story. Let's imagine there's a castle on a hill overlooking a large, deep lake. In this castle lived a little princess, Charlotte Helena, but everyone called her Charlie, whose curiosity led her to a secret room in which she discovered a magic bell. It turns out that if she makes a wish and rang the bell, the wish came true. The little princess loved Christmas, so just imagine what she would do with her magic bell at this time of year. It might look something like this. If this were a magic bell, I could make a wish and ring it, hoping that my wish would come true. So, I wish that Princess Charlie would come to us through the years and share her Christmas wishes with us. Thank you, Charlie, for joining us. We're glad you're here. So, would you please tell us, when you were in your castle, what would you wish for Christmas? Excellent. No sooner than she had said the wish, a Christmas wreath appeared on the door to the castle. Before the echo of her wishing bell died out, a huge Yule log was burning brightly in the castle's fireplace. And then, next to the Yule log, a beautiful decorated Christmas tree appeared. And as she made her last wish, a bright star began to glow from the topmost branch of the tree. We could imagine, too, that the songs were playing, the Burgundian might have said there was something terrible and frightening happening just before Christmas. A large dragon came out of the depths of the lake. afraid and hid wherever they could. Princess Charlie, however, was not afraid. She stood in the tower looking down at the approaching dragon and said,
I wish you would just go away.
The dragon gave a great roar and fell back down the hill into the deepest part of the lake, never to be seen again. Everyone in the castle came out from hiding and thanked Princess Charlie for saving Christmas. She was very happy that the ordeal was over and wished everyone a very Merry Christmas, a happy Hanukkah, a fulfilling Kwanzaa, and a pleasant and relaxing holiday, and a happy New Year.
Charlie has been coming to our concerts and even to our rehearsals ever since she was a baby. As a matter of fact, I have a recording from one of our concerts where she was in her mother's arms and crying. And I'm very happy to say that her little sister is here as a baby and hope that we'll see her out here someday. The next piece is Good King Wenceslas. Yes. Good King Wenceslas, and I've had some fun making an arrangement of it. Wenceslas was a historical character. He wasn't a king, he was a duke. But he was a wonderful person, charitable, and he was posthumously ennobled and made a king by the Holy Roman Emperor. It's a simple tune, and you can have fun with it. I hope you'll hear in this version of Good King Wenceslas. example of it's been around for a long time. It started off with a Jesuit priest who was with the Huron Indians in Canada and wrote a Christmas carol for them in the Huron language. And he was a very fine priest, bearing the word of the gospel to the natives, and was so good that he was captured by the Iroquois and tortured and assassinated. Later on, he was canonized and is one of the patron saints of Canada. This piece, we're not going to try to sing it in the Huron language, and we will recognize it possibly because it's made its way into our hymnals. It has much of the capability of a recorder, but it was handmade, and I don't know how they hollowed it out or how they carved the wind weight and all the things that create a recorder like these instruments. But they did with no machines, and there's quite practice of Native American flutes in America. There's a Native American Flute Society, and if I were more courageous, I'd join it, but I'm not. But the sound of the Native American flute is quite lovely. There are marvelous records of Native American flute specialists, and I would recommend you listen to some. We Three Kings is our next piece, and it's mentioned only once in the Gospels, and no name is given, although you can find lots of We Three Kings music with the names, and not even how many there are. It has been assumed that there were 3 kings because there were 3 gifts. At any rate, it's a popular carol, and it's been around for a long time. We'd like to present you our version of We Three Kings. Sleep, a little child. We're going to present two klezmer songs. Klezmer music undoubtedly is played and it's been around for a long, long time. It was born or mentioned in the Bible, and music was popular in the Jewish state up until the burning of the Second Crusades, when it was considered bad form. It's hard to trace the history of klezmer music because it's distant folk music. But interestingly enough, around 1917 in America, it caught on fire, and there were klezmer bands all over the place playing this wonderful, wonderful music. Klezmer, the word klezmer comes from two words, which means tool and music. It means a musical instrument. It is not a vocal music at all. There aren't words to klezmer. They are dances and showpieces. We have two pieces for you. One a reflected one called By the Hearth, and one a dance called My Young Cousin. flaming pudding carol, sometimes called the Christmas pudding carol, but I prefer the other because it reflects something that you see in English Christmas banquets. They take the figgy pudding, which is a very strange name for a pudding, and they dump all sorts of brandy on it so that when it's carried in, they ignite it and it's flaming all over the place. Reminds me of a Christmas program I played once where they tried to do that and unfortunately used tablecloths and paper napkins. The brandy spilled, the flaming brandy spilled on the paper tablecloth, and it was quite tense for a while. So here we have the flaming pudding. Spin, dreidel, spin. And it refers again to the miracle of the lights in the temple. And there's always in the Hanukkah songs reference to the lights or the miracle from our forefathers. This one says, little dreidel, spin and turn, Hanukkah when the candles burn. So it's a really good Hanukkah song. stirring piece. It's, the text has to do with the murmuring of the wind in the trees and actually the approach of sunrise. So it could be considered a metaphor for a Christmas tree, where the beauty is rising and rising and rising, and it flourishes in the sunrise, however you spell the sun in that case. next tune is very important for you because what I say. Actually, it's a familiar tune. Old King Cole was a merry old soul. And in the song, you know, he calls for his fiddler's three. Well, in this song, his Christmas wishes are more complex. He calls for 5 different groups. Not only fiddlers, but also flutes and crumb horns. Everyone say crumb horns. And so I will turn around and have you sing, and instead of call for his fiddler's three, keep track of what he's calling for. Old King Cole. one verse. We've only got maybe 5 verses. But we have 6 carols here. The first verse of each you will sing. Each one has a little introduction, and I want to hear people really open up and sing these carols. The words are in your program.
Right.
most people realize. You cannot go on sheetmusic.com and buy this stuff. Jack arranges every note we play specifically for this instrumentation, and I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.